Hi, welcome back to our channel. My name's Jolie, and gonna just talk about something that I do every day, which is I try to connect to my higher power, right? What does that mean? Higher power, the God of my understanding. I get to choose that with yeah, I'm choosing it. So that means higher power, the universe, has its um, has its uh, beauty of loving me no matter what, no matter what. Isn't that great? And you can choose one for yourself too. I used to think that I had to do the right thing, or, I mean, yes, you have to do the right thing, but in order for God, the universe, to want me around, basically. Uh, but I've realized that that's not necessarily the case. Always wanting me around. Uh, but I think it's good for me to just work on myself, to be grateful for whatever comes my way, whether that's you know, some adversity, you know, because it's life. Life has its ups and downs and in between, like that mundane thing that's do that again. I heard today that you'll love what you do a third of the time, and that's perfect enough, to have a good life. A third of the time. I thought you're supposed to love it all the time. You don't necessarily have to, because that's not realistic, is it? Having a realistic point of view, being open to um, what our responsibility is, and that's working on just being the best people we can, humans, humble, helping others. How do you feel good about your life? Helping others. Last week I had my neighbor knock on the door, and she's like, "Can you take me to Walmart? I need bread to feed the birds." And I was like, "Okay, let's go to Walmart." And it was really like one of those, oh, I mean, I was like, "Thank you for asking me, number one." And okay, I don't normally do that, but I hope she's okay. She's in a walker. I was like, God, I hope she doesn't fall down, right? So I was like, okay, just go with the flow. Life is about living each moment at a time. And I was like, that's, yeah. So we get to watch her feed the birds. I open the door in the morning and my cat gets to watch it too. She loves that. But I opened up to one of my little pamphlet books that I read quite often. It's called Acceptance, and I just turned all the way to the back, and it talks about, like, I'll just read. It's on page 23 if you have it, and it says, "We are inclined to make the mistake of thinking that a few minutes we spend in actually talking to our higher power, God, are all that count. In reality, it's the attitude of mind we maintain through the day, and every bit important. All that is important. The attitude. If you place yourself in God's hands in the morning and throughout the day, you hold yourself ready to accept God's will as it is made known through the circumstances of your daily life. Your attitude of acceptance becomes a constant prayer." That's beautiful. Yeah, our attitude is a constant prayer. That's, I'd love that. So to cultivate this attitude, to remind yourself how to live with yourself, start today to recite every day the Serenity prayer. So that simple, wonderful prayer. And so there's the basic prayer, right, that we always say in these videos. And then there's like the extended version. So I'll just read to you the extended version and we can pray it together. How's that? Little changing the sequence of this video. And all right, so here we go. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Right, let's be present in this moment, this magic moment. So God grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, courage to change the things I can, wisdom to know the difference, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as pathways to peace, taking, as God did, the sinful world as it is, not as I would have it. Trusting that God, our higher power, will make all things right if I surrender to its will. That I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with God forever in the next. Amen. Nice. So if I'm a third happy with what I do in my life, whether that's work or communicating with friends or family, that's reasonably happy in this life. I just want to be reasonably happy. And with my attitude, I can have a constant prayer. This is just a beautiful thing I wanted to share with you. And, it works if you work it. It works if I work it. Boundaries are up to my ownership. Then I can tend to them once I know what they are. So I can have like straighter spine. If they are imposed upon us, then we can understand and respect those of others, living our best life that we can. So what is it in my life that I am making it into something that it isn't, is going to be a good question I can ask myself. What stories am I making up? If I'm upset, like for instance, I did have an incident that I went through just recently with a key friend in my life that's in the program, and we had a conversation. I asked if they would, talk, we were talking about something, and she said, well, I don't think that you want to do this, and and I was like, I just took it like, basically it was like, I felt like birds hitting me in the face. Like I couldn't get enough of it. It was like, I just had to like throw it off. I was angry. I was hurt. But it was my attitude, and I wasn't loving myself no matter what. No matter what she said, I was not loving myself. I was accepting that word accepting. I was accepting the fact that weren't facts. I was accepting the story that I was telling myself about what she meant. So afterward, we had a talk. I said, I put my boundaries in because I was like, like I've been too, like, where are my boundaries here? I need to be more strict with myself and with her so that this way there's like lines. And then I said, okay, I'd like to speak to you because I'm working on, what did you mean? I want to know what, we had this conversation and I was hurt. So I want to talk to you. So we had a Zoom call on some like I gave some options for time boundaries that were good for me, not just one time, but a few times and dates. And she chose one. And I was cordial and polite and kind. And I said, thank you. And she was like, thank you. I'm happy that we're going to talk. So I was like, why would she be happy to talk? Because she didn't seem like she liked me the other day. I was like having this attitude that I was telling myself that I wasn't good enough. I had the fear that I wasn't good enough and that this person was laying it out for me. And I wanted to know, like, if that's really what she meant. Come to find out, on the day that we talked, immediately she said, I hope that I didn't come off as uncaring or unloving because I'm not the nice, I'm not necessarily the softest person, is what she said, not nicest. She said, I'm not a soft person. I'm really black and white about how I see things, and I'm here to help you by pointing out some things. And I'm also here to put my boundaries up of what's okay for me and what's not okay for me in our relationship. And I don't see it that I am in that section of our relationship. So I thought, okay, I'm going to process that. I'm open to the fact that that's okay. I totally made up this story because I was insecure. And so it says, what is it in my life that I'm making into something that isn't? That's what I did. I made something, but I was able to talk to her about it, clarify it. And she's like, I want you to show up for what our relationship is. How are you with that? And I said, I need to do that. I want to do that. I feel now attracted to keep working together. And now that I know that I was telling myself this story because I was fearful and insecure about my past relationships, I was projecting that onto this one, but I was able to talk to her about it, which normally I cut it and just say, all right, you hurt my feelings. We're out of here. I'm not going to deal with that. And I'm like, it doesn't make, like, some of it didn't make sense. Like, why would she hurt my feelings? Like, we're both on a recovery program. Why? Like, that doesn't make sense. What is the reality? So it's like, in my defense, I was left unsupervised. So I love this shirt. I've worn it before. I cut it up like, what is that, Flash Dance? Anybody from the 80s here? She's a maniac. That's me. I'm a maniac. So boundaries are also with and between concepts. So the concept of working with, like the prayer, for instance, like working with prayer or meditation, mindful thinking of telling ourselves stories, like let's work on that. Let's have boundaries with that. Let's work with the what's coming up for me. Why did I get upset? Why am I upset? Am I afraid? What am I afraid of? Do I feel like a past wound come up that this may be triggered, or I'm reacting rather than understanding or asking for clarification during the time that the conversation happened. Like the conversation happened 2 weeks ago, and then I'm processing it for a week and a half. So the word processing, though it sounds very mature, could be looked at in a different way. Let's see. Processing. Processed, like processed foods. There's a lot of ingredients in that. And maybe too many thoughts, too many Like I figured it out on my own. I don't need to have a conversation with the person that I talk to. So I figured it out myself because I knew everything. No. No, those are the stories we tell ourselves. Like I pray to, what is this? I pray to be led into a new way of thinking about the difficulties I have to face. That's a difficulty. And I pray to be led into a new way of thinking. So like that's an attitude difference. So that's a constant prayer that can be in my life, constantly like connecting with my higher power. A new point of view will put them into perspective and reduce them to manageable size. I pray especially to resist exaggerating my troubles until they overwhelm me. I pray especially to resist exaggerating my troubles until they overwhelm me. That saves my life, I'm going to tell you. And that's from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. I love that. I don't know what page, but. And let me learn to understand myself first. So that will occupy me so fully that I'll have no time nor thought to analyze and criticize anybody else in my life. The compulsive addict, or my neighbor, my kids, my friend, myself, my parents, anybody. And then, yeah, they call it staying on your side of the street. I pray that each day may advance my steps on the road to understanding, that I may leave nothing undone that could have changed the course of my life for the better. Beautiful. I love you guys. Thank you for being on this journey with me, journey, road to recovery. Yeah, it's in the next few months, astrologically, we're going to be in for a challenge with Mars connecting with the Gemini. It's all going to be in Gemini, so it's going to be a lot of that thinking. Gemini is the mind and our expression, our way we learn, and Mars is just like, sometimes it's full of fight and it has a lot of energy and a lot going on. Gotta get going. So just hang out, read, journal your journey so that you can get that out. Don't tell yourself stories that aren't going to serve your serenity. If I can't sleep because my mind is constant, I'll say, wait a minute, I'll just pop serenity prayer in there. Simple version. Just on and on and on and on and on and on. I figure that's gonna be better than anything that I'm gonna come up with. Anyway, so I love you guys. I'll see you soon. I just wanted to come on and hang out, and while I was reading, I wanted to read those to you as well. So have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, all the readings, there's 365 days worth of readings on this channel. All you have to do is go onto the main page, into the search, and then you just put in a date, any date you want, and there'll be a reading up if you want to have those for when you're driving or cooking or doing something, painting. I've been painting a lot, so it's good to listen to the good stuff that's going to feed our minds with some positivity, acceptance of opening our minds to some happy, happy thoughts, right? So love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.